Hi everyone, I just wanted to show you this place real quick and some cichlids that are doing a really cool behavior. I'm hoping you can hear the sound. My camera's in a waterproof case here, but I hope these fish are still doing what they were doing. They're a cool little cichlid, and this beach is mostly like a clay sand, sandy clay. It's really slippery, but it also gets kicked up very easily, and these fish are picking through, finding little edible bits in the sand and in the substrate, and there's these like leaves and things that kind of go tumbling by with the current, and the fish are looking for things that are stuck to the leaves, and they're occasionally like flipping the leaves over and looking at the underside to see, you know, if there's something under there that they haven't seen before. But let's take a look. I hope they're still doing it.
The first fish that we'll see in this video are Satanoperca lilith. They're a really cool cichlid that actually get to be 8 to 10 inches long. These ones here are actually much smaller than that. These ones are probably in the 4 to 6 inch range. But they do get much bigger as a species, although they're pretty calm and get along well with other species of fish, even much smaller fish. Now, you'll notice that what they're doing here is actually swimming over this kind of sandy area, and they're picking up mouthfuls of substrate and sifting it through their mouths, and it's going in their mouths and out their gills, and they're actually filtering out any edible bits and pieces that are in that sand. And so that's how this group of fishes belongs to the group of fishes called eartheaters. And so here you can see them actually earth eating. And here's a threadfin acara with them, Acari hecali. This fish has a slightly different feeding mode. You can see him flipping this leaf over to kind of inspect the underside and find anything that's hiding under there or stuck under there that might be edible for him. And there were lots of these fish just kind of roving over this otherwise sort of bland-looking bottom substrate, looking for things that were like around the leaf tumbleweeds tumbling around and finding them and picking them off, or sifting through the substrate itself. So if you do keep any of these earth-eating cichlids, you do need a soft, fine substrate, because as those fish are bringing the sand literally into their mouths and filtering it out through their gills, if those pieces are too hard or angular or sharp, they could actually injure their gills. The gills are actually quite delicate, but they're using them to filter their food through there. Here's another little itty-bitty Acari. There were a bunch of these in the very small size range, like anywhere from the size of an American quarter up through like a credit card, were roving around in a very big group. And there were some assorted hemigrammus tetras that were in here with them, and a whole bunch of apistogramma cichlids that I could not identify at all. There were several different species that all looked very, very similar, and they're not a fish that's easily identifiable by me. And you'll see that this habitat right here was very shallow water, very fine substrate, very close on the beach here, but the water level here would have changed a lot. More of those Acari in that very small size range, just kind of roaming around looking for stuff to eat. Now you'll notice that there are many species of fish in this video and in this habitat, and the gentle capture of many of these species of fish drives conservation in this region because it provides sustainable livelihoods to rural families that live here. And this incentivizes them to protect the habitat because the fish are a significant portion of the economy, and people understand that the fish require a clean, healthy rainforest ecosystem in order to thrive, and without that, they don't have that source of income. And that incentivizes people to protect the habitat and keep out things that are environmentally destructive and rampant in other parts of the Amazon, like, timber harvest, unsustainable forestry practices, gold mining, cattle ranching, and things like that. This was really cool too. At the end of this video, and kind of in this structure here, where there was like a branch in the middle of this otherwise just plain sandy area that was full of pencilfish. These fish were definitely like targeted on this branch and inspecting every corner and piece of it looking for food, but you can tell how they also use that sort of oblique swimming pattern to sort of disguise themselves among branches like this and sort of blend in with it. If you're not looking for fish, you don't necessarily notice the fish mixed in with the branches. Again, here's some of those apistogramma cichlids just kind of swimming around with them, and you can see how soft the substrate is. I actually kicked up a bunch of it there.